This was me. I was constantly reminded and bullied for how skinny I was. I was often called names, and I hated the person I saw in the mirror. This is me now, only a few years of hard work later, much happier than I was before. After all these years, I was tired, I was fed up, I'd had enough, and I decided to put in the hard work. I would say I have a decent physique, and I'm happy with it, and it's definitely very attainable for anybody just within a few years of hard work. The most important words in that sentence is hard work. It's not going to come easy, and you have to work hard for it. I've made this video to help guide you if you're thinking of starting to go to the gym or just starting to exercise in general. You and I both know the main benefits of exercising, but it's more than that. It's mental strength, mental clarity, improved mood, improved sleep, reduce stress, and above all that, frequent exercise is a crucial aspect to a happy and healthy life. With that being said, here are the few things I wish I knew when I first started. The number one thing I wish I knew when I first started is to just start. It sounds basic, probably not what you want to hear, but it's the honest truth. Don't get overwhelmed by all the information you see on the internet. Just start. When I first started, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I just did whatever I could and whatever I thought was right, which actually turned out to be a great thing to do, because over time I then learned what was right, what I was doing wrong, and I learned from my mistakes. Moving on to the next part is consistency. Consistency can be measured differently, but I would measure it from how much you're working out within 1 week. Later on, once you build consistency, you can research it a bit more, but don't fall into the trap of trying to make everything as perfect and as optimum as possible. One thing which has helped me majorly in my consistency is working out after a preset event. A preset event is something that happens every single day, no matter what. This can be waking up, coming back home from school, whatever. This helps with consistency because it's going to happen every single day. This preset event is like a trigger. Once the trigger happens, you then think about exercising and you go do it. It makes perfect sense, and if you're trying to make something a habit, definitely try this. Now, moving on to the training side, you want to keep it simple. You don't need anything to start, but some resistance bands and a dumbbell set will definitely help. I highly recommend getting a gym membership, but you can make that decision later on if you wish. If your main goal is to gain muscle and strength, focus on the compound lifts. The compound lifts are the squat, deadlift, and bench press. When you're first getting started, don't worry too much about isolation exercises, working on one muscle. Focus on these compound lifts, squat, deadlift, bench press, pull-ups, dips, things that work multiple muscles at once. The thing that confused me the most about training was what sets and reps meant. Reps or repetitions are how many times you perform an action. This can be a bicep curl. It starts at the bottom, you bring it up, put it back down, that's 1 rep. 1, 2, 3, so on. When you do that a certain amount of times, let's say 10 reps, take a rest, do another 10 reps, those are sets. The thing that confused me the most was how the layout actually is. When you read something such as 3 times 10 bicep curls, the sets are listed first and then the reps. So 3 sets, 10 reps. This confused me at first because I thought the reps were first, sets were next, which makes more sense, but that's just something to keep in mind. The next 2 principles I want to talk about are volume and intensity. The volume is basically how much you're doing over the course of a week. The intensity is how hard you're pushing yourself, how fast are you moving the weight, how close you're getting to muscular failure where you can't do anymore. Over a few weeks of exercising, you'll understand how volume and intensity play a role in affecting your workout, your progress, and how you can change them to suit your goals. The truth is, when you first start, it'll feel like a chore, but you'll enjoy it more and more, and that chore will turn to a habit, which will then turn into your lifestyle. As you progress and enjoy it more, you'll learn more about what's optimum, what's efficient, and what works best for you. One other key piece of advice is taking progress photos and measurements. Taking progress photos is a great thing to do, so you can see where you started before, where you are now, and all that you've done, all the progress you've gotten to get where you are now. Measurements also help. I don't really measure that much, but if you want a more accurate reading to see how you are progressing, you can measure your body measurements, but I prefer progress photos. I think I'll make another more in-depth training video, but that's the basics of it. Recovery is key. Make sure you get enough food, sleep, water, and it'll all come together once you get your training consistent. If you have any questions, write them down in the comments, but I'm sure I'll make another video covering this topic more in depth. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the gym. Till next time.